Hello and welcome back to my Ultra Sun 100 battle video series. It has been a while since I've done one of these, I know, but nonetheless, I am back. And today we're going to be facing an Yveltal Kyogre team, which is pretty dang interesting. And we're going to see a bit of a weather war here, as I have a Sun team with, Groudon and Kyurem, and my opponent has Kyogre and Ludicolo, which are like two Pokemon you very commonly see on raid teams. So let's get into this. So my leads are going to be Kyurem and Incineroar, just being able to fake out and Ice Beam something or just hit something really hard. My opponent is also going to lead with Incineroar and Restricted in their Yveltal. So Yveltal is going to reveal itself to be the fastest thing on the field here, followed by my Kyurem, and my Incineroar is going to outspeed their Incineroar, which is pretty handy. But like this Incineroar is honestly like way too fast. I didn't really know how to EV it at the time. So this Incineroar is like way faster than it needs to be, so I ended up outspeeding pretty much every opposing Incineroar. But nonetheless, it's going to help here. Yveltal is going to protect, which kind of sucks as I won't be able to Ice Beam it this turn. And my Incineroar is going to outspeed my opponent's Incineroar. I'm just going to end up faking it out. My Ice Beam is going to go into the Yveltal's Protect, and my opponent is going to flinch. So nothing of value was really done that turn, but now my opponent is going to withdraw their Yveltal, and Kyogre is going to come in, which is obviously something that's not going to be taking a lot from Ice Beam, even though I am Life Orb and it's Stab and everything like that. So Kyogre is going to set up the Drizzle, but my Kyurem is actually going to Protect, not wanting to take anything from the Incineroar. And I'm actually going to U-turn out here, which puts me in a great position because I am going to withdraw my Incineroar, and my Groudon is going to come in now. So we're going to be able to get rid of the rain and set up the sun, which both of my Pokemon pretty greatly appreciate here. So the drought is set up, and my opponent is going to just knock off into my Kyurem's Protect, so nothing is going to be done there. So now my opponent is going to withdraw Kyogre, and Ludicolo is going to come in. The weather war has officially begun. So I'm going to withdraw my Groudon also. So now that we both have our weather setting restricted legendaries in the back, it's going to be really important for both of us to position them correctly and everything. I'm going to bring in my Incineroar, so now we both have some fake out pressure, and my opponent is actually going to double switch, and the Yveltal is going to come in the Incineroar's place. The Incineroar must not have wanted to take a Precipice Blades or anything like that, but I'm actually going to Earth Power into the Yveltal slot. It's not going to do anything, which is kind of unfortunate. So, now Yveltal is going to be withdrawn, and Kyogre is going to come in, which makes Ludicolo honestly a very big offensive threat. Drizzle is going to come in, set up the rain, and now I'm actually going to protect my Kyurem, probably thinking the Yveltal would target into it, but no, my opponent actually switched, and Ludicolo is going to fire off a Scald into Incineroar. It's going to do so much damage, we just barely live. Ludicolo is going to reveal itself to be Life Orb as well, and now I'm going to Flare Blitz. And this is going to go into the Yveltal slot, but it's a Kyogre, and it's in the rain, so it does nothing, and my Incineroar, it just dies. So, that's unfortunate, but now I'm going to send in my Groudon, so the sun's back up. So Ludicolo isn't going to be as fast, and it's not going to be as strong either, so that's really good. And obviously Kyogre is going to be pressured out, so my opponent withdraws Kyogre here. Yveltal comes back in. Again, it's immune to my Precipice Blades and Earth Power and everything like that, so that's pretty good for my opponent. Now I'm going to Fusion Flare into the Ludicolo, which in the sun, Life Orb just melts that thing alive. So down goes Ludicolo. We take a bit of Life Orb damage, and Precipice Blades is not going to do anything to the Yveltal, obviously. So now Kyogre is going to come back in, set up the rain again, and just pressure my Groudon so much. So here, I actually end up protecting with my Groudon, not wanting to take an Origin Pulse, obviously, and I want to see if I can get this Yveltal to go down. So Origin Pulse is going to connect on my Kyurem and deal a lot of damage. Kyogre is also almost definitely Scarfed because it moved faster than the Yveltal. Knockoff is going to go into my Groudon's Protect, and luckily my Kyurem is going to be able to get an Ice Beam off and just Oko the Yveltal. It was a crit, but honestly, it's like stab, super effective, life orb. Like, I don't think it would have mattered that much, all things considered. So, my opponent's last is going to be Incineroar. Just setting up the Intimidate on my Groudon and fake out pressure on both my Pokemon. So here I end up switching my Groudon into my Incineroar, and since my opponent only has 2 Pokemon left, or actually it's not my Incineroar, sorry, it's my Kartana, and since my opponent only has 2 Pokemon left, all I will have to do is set up, just bring in Groudon one more time, and I'll have the Sun up for the rest of the game, which is really nice for me. So Origin Pulse is going to end up connecting onto my Kartana, bring it down to 1 HP, because Kartana has 0 Spit F, basically. We're going to live with the Sash, but it's not going to matter very much, as Incineroar is just going to connect the Flare Blitz onto the Kartana and take it out. So now, I think it's really only a matter of time until I have this game in the bag, because I'm going to send in Groudon, set up the Sun, so Precipice Blades will be like a 2-hit KO on their Kyogre, just Oko the Incineroar, and then Kyurem is there too, just to provide this immense offensive pressure. My opponent realizes that, and they are just going to end up forfeiting, so it was a bit of a repetitive game, all things considered, because of the weather war that was going on, but I ultimately was able to win it, and because of that, I ended up winning the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. Consider subscribing, I don't know, stuff like that. I'll see you next time.